coincidentally, was the main official when Celtic demolished Aberdeen 9-0 back in November. So for the third time in 10 days, these two sides find themselves colliding. Handshakes before the action begins. Will there be more plot twists in this, the final act of the trilogy, than we saw in parts 1 and 2? Aberdeen have got Ricardo playing beside Xander Diamond in central defence. Playing towards the King Street end of Pittodrie in the first half. Possibilities for Celtic right at the outset. Scott Brown making his way through.
Penalty.
To be a penalty.
Yeah.
And it is inside 60 seconds.
The penalties for the first offence, Derek. The penalties when he gets inside Considine, there's a little tug on the arm. Now, lovely play from Hooper. There, just there. Now, once there's no advantage gained, there's none, and there were a penalty for the trip as well, second time. But he's given it for this little tug here. Just there. Little tug back, and then just for good measure, there's a trip as well. Brilliant play.
And a red card to make matters worse. Alan Muir deciding that it was an attempt to deny a goal-scoring opportunity. And Andrew Considine given his marching orders. The Aberdeen players are beside themselves.
Well, I think there was definitely a penalty. Now, is there a player getting across here to deny an obvious goal-scoring opportunity? Well, I think the answer probably is no, because there's no doubt if the little tug's not there in the shirt, he's going to have a free strike at goal. Well, that's a nightmare, isn't it, for Craig Brown? And what a great chance for Celtic.
Anthony Stokes has scored 5 goals in 3 matches against Aberdeen already this season. Jamie Langfield waits. And Stokes! What a save by Langfield!
Well, he just guesses the right way. I mean, sometimes for keepers, it's just luck. But he does brilliantly. Absolutely brilliant. It's not a great penalty, but it never is when the keeper goes the correct way most of the time. And sometimes it's just a flick of a coin.
Well, Aberdeen battling on, but reduced to 10 men, and it's Commons with that flat trajectory corner. Aguirre didn't get hold of it. Well, a big early decision for Alan Muir to make.
Well, first and foremost, the play from Hooper was superb, absolutely, and as was the ball. Now, I don't think he's a centre-half, really, Considine. His position is not great, and I think Brown gets round him far too easily. That's a great save from Langfield, but there's no doubt about it, it's a penalty. And Alan Muir's decision then was, did he deny a goal-scoring opportunity, a clear-cut goal-scoring opportunity? And I think he did.
Ahead of Mark Wilson, who's the makeshift central defender for Celtic. And Craig Brown having to adjust things, with Andrew Considine sent off. Trying to get it forward towards Scott Vernon, Aberdeen's top scorer this season. So we run through the two sides for you again.
I'm just trying to see what he's done with it, because I think he might, Craig Brown at times will go 3 at the back sometimes when this happens. I don't think he has. It looks to me as if McNamee's shunted over to the left-back position.
Chris Maguire into the Scotland squad for the first time. It's for the game against Northern Ireland. Saw that by Nick Blackman, who's previously on loan at Motherwell from Blackburn Rovers under Craig Brown. Now on loan at Aberdeen under the same manager. Here's Paul Hartley, once to Celtic. It was a ferocious drive.
Hit Vernon, hit his own player, Derek.
Well, the message from Craig Brown to his players was, positive start, boys. We don't need another wretched beginning after what happened at the weekend. But it is still 0-0. But it's going to be awfully difficult for the 10 of Aberdeen.
Yeah, young McArdle has gone to right back. He'll be disappointed, Neil Lennon, that they've missed the penalty. That goes without saying. But his side are in a great position now, because they would generally have, you would imagine, have bossed this game anyway. So, you know, it should really be more simplistic for them just to have more possession, especially with the extra man.
Izagirre, very much a forward-going, forward-thinking fullback. Honduran, Charlie Mulgrew. It's McArdle. The second time of asking. 9 successive start for Rory McArdle. Wilson, Scott Brown and Chris Commons all in Craig Levine's squad from the Celtic end of things. You have a good view of that. And so Ledley is the recipient of the free kick. Wilson to take it. Stops us up there trying to cause havoc. There's a bit of buffeting by Mulgrew. Celtic have already scored 14 goals in 3 competitive meetings with Aberdeen this season. Missed a chance to make it 15. Neil Lennon and Johan Mjalby there together.
It looks as if because of that they've switched frontmen. Actually, they've now put Blackman, Aberdeen, through the middle and put Vernon onto a wider position. I think that's because Blackman's the pacier of the two. There might be a lot of chasing balls into the channel now for Aberdeen.
And down here for Aberdeen has gone David McNamee, one of the newcomers. He was released by Plymouth last summer. Couldn't find a club in the first half of this campaign.
Well, he goes in very strongly here. And it's his own player, Xander Diamond, as he's just retreating back that Clatters. And very unfortunate, it was very direct from Xander Diamond.
Various messages being relayed from Craig Brown to the pitch. Neil Cooper there beside him, one of the assistants. Jim Layton in the background. There is one other SPL match on tonight. Here's an early goal for St Johnstone against Hamilton. Steve May for the Perth Saints. Keep you posted as the night progresses. Scott Brown making his way towards the advertising board and clutching that left ankle.
Yeah, he's not had much luck with injuries, has he, Brown?
Still hobbling Brown, he's not back on the pitch. Celtic going to have to make a change. I think so, the way Brown is moving.
He has had trouble with the ankle, hasn't he? Amongst other things.
Fine Juarez, he is no stranger to right back. The best of balls, Maguire. Here's Hartley. His first season here in the northeast. Fraser Forster is there to field it.
Yeah, that's what I look for a bit more now. Aberdeen just shove Blackman through the middle. They need an out ball now. They need to have a little bit of pace up there.
We've seen an eruption of goals when Aberdeen and Celtic lock horns. 18 have been scored in the last 3 SPL meetings of this pair. And Celtic threatening once more. And it wasn't a bad effort either, as Commons manoeuvred into position.
Well, I think the one thing any player has to do when he comes to a new club, and especially arriving in the the goldfish bowl that is Glasgow, and the expectation and the pressure, and it really has done for quite a few players. A lot bigger players than Chris Common, I've got to say, have come into this situation and been a nervous wreck, and he scored a great goal at the weekend at Hampden. It just gives you that bit of confidence in front of the new fans.
He's played 7 times for Scotland, Chris Commons. I was saying the other day that was part of the thinking behind the move to Celtic.
Yeah, there's a lot of big players, you know, and no disrespect, a lot of players a lot bigger and heavier price tags than Chris Commons have arrived in Glasgow and really buckled under the pressure. And that's why it's important to get off to a good start, and he did.
And Kyle is keeping a weather eye on McNamee. Here's Hartley. Still strong for Blackman. Emilio Izagirre, no problems there. Attention coming from Maguire. There's a Forster on loan from Newcastle United till the end of the season. There's more than 3 years left on his deal with the Magpies. Well, Aberdeen really having to do it the hard way. With only 10 men on the pitch. If you have just joined us here on ESPN, there was a very early red card for Andrew Considine. So he conceded a penalty. Scott Brown going down inside the box, but Jimmy Langfield saving the spot kick taken by Anthony Stokes. And Celtic right through here. It had to be the opening goal, and it is. And Gary Hooper finds himself inside the Aberdeen penalty area, and he doesn't miss from there. Is it going to be another long night for Aberdeen in a match against Celtic?
Well, it is if you make elementary and basic mistakes like that, and then once the mistake's made, you set off. But he has shown himself to be a goal scorer. That is brilliant link-up play again between Stokes and Hooper, the two strikers, the two guys that look as if they're on the same wavelength. They've formed a partnership when both fit. They've scored goals, and Hooper, make no bones about it, he scored goals in England, albeit in the lower league, but he's a poacher, he's a goal scorer, he's composed, and he's a finisher. And I tell you what, at this level you can't ask for much more than that. That's a great finish.
And meanwhile, Ryan Jack is down, the 18-year-old local boy, youngster from Kitty Brewster in the northern part of the city. And Craig Brown does not want to see Aberdeen capitulate against Celtic again.
Yeah, he's struggling. I think he's struggling. Let's have a look at that. Commons just shuts it down, and then he just kicks Chris Commons, doesn't he? You see that kind of challenge happen so often, and players take a sword. But it's just unfortunate. I mean, it's a ball that's there to be cleared. Clatters it off Commons. Hooper's sitting in the pocket a little bit deeper. Stokes is aware of his positioning, just gives himself a little bit of a chance. The little return ball, Derek, from Stokes was excellent, as was the finish. Those two, I would say, if they stay fit, have got a chance of driving Celtic to the title with their goals.
They really have refined their partnership, Anthony Stokes and Gary Hooper. And another injury, it's McNamee. Aberdeen flailing here, trying to keep Celtic at bay. Stokes. And Blackman trying to put himself about.
Well, you and I were at Hearts, Derek, when Celtic lost at Tynecastle, and the atmosphere's great because they split. Neil Lennon split that partnership up on that particular day, if memory serves me right, didn't he? I think he dropped Stokes into away position, didn't he?
Yes, he did, wide on the right.
And they had scored an incredible amount of goals, as we see the youngster coming off here. That's I mean, it's been you can see on his shin, look at that, a real nasty one. But I think even Neil Lennon admitted he made a mistake that day.
Well, Stephen Smith has just joined Aberdeen. Was with Norwich the first half of the season, but complained of homesickness. Former Rangers man.
Well, Ryan Jack, you could see that if you were watching that gash in his shin, that almost a little hole. It's probably going to, I would imagine it's going to need stitching, which is very unfortunate.
Commons with menace, and it was Maguire's errant challenge. Aberdeen are all over the place.
Yeah, a bit cynical. It'll be backs to the wall now, I think, for Aberdeen. It has been an awful start for them. Giving a penalty away after 56 seconds. Considine been sent off. He needed a ball even warming up. Stokes misses it, and then wonderful play between Hooper and Stokes. Hooper away with a 1-2 and a lovely finish.
Maybe Derek Young to come on for Ryan Jack. Derek Young now 30. This is the 350th appearance of his senior career.
There's another one limping. McNamee, he's gone to left back now, and he's limping away as well.
Might yet see Stephen Smith. It's an early stage in the proceedings. Celtic trying to make it an 8-point lead at the top. And just remember, play tomorrow night at home to Hearts. It's Ledley. Offside flag had gone up. The Celtic supporters are enjoying themselves. Stephen Smith for David McNamee. So they make a second change. Diamond put to the test. Stokes have continued his canter. Stephen Smith, having just joined Aberdeen, is almost immediately thrust into the spotlight. That's the end of the story as far as David McNamee is concerned. Stephen Smith, who was a very unlucky player during his time at Rangers, always seemed to be battling injuries. And something went twang. And McNamee will take no further part of this game. 1-0 to Celtic. A goal by Hooper. Against the 10 men of Aberdeen. Here's Brown, and Smith matching him. The decision goes Celtic's way. Chris Commons scoring on Saturday, just 6 minutes into his Celtic debut. The left foot of Commons. Comes to Emilio Izaguirre. It's a bit of a heavy touch. And the whistle had gone. A bit of respite for Aberdeen. Well, let's see what Craig Brown thinks about what's going on. He's with Darrell.
Craig, this is a bit of a disastrous start. What do you do now?
Well, obviously we're going to dig in and keep a 4-4-1 shape and try to retain possession when we can get it, but it's a very difficult start for us. I thought the penalty was a penalty, but I thought the ordering off was harsh. A yellow card for me, I thought would have been sufficient there.
Penalty enough punishment?
I think a penalty is enough point, but the laws of the game say if it's a goal scoring opportunity, I think there's an awful lot to do to score there. I just wonder if it had been the other way, if it would have been the same decision in terms of an ordering off. I think it was very, very harsh indeed. And then, of course, now David McNamee he's got a groin injury, so we're really getting down to the bare bones.
Craig, thank you.
We'll do our best.
It's a fair point, Craig. The law is the law, but is a penalty award enough under those circumstances?
Well, no, because the law is denying a goal scorer opportunity. Now, it was still very difficult from that angle he was at, but the defender getting across wasn't close enough to make a challenge had he taken the strike relatively early. So, by the letter of the law, and it's at the referee's discretion at that point, and it would be hard to argue against it. That's what I would say. And it's listen, at times it can be a very unfair game, this, but the referees have got a directive and a certain manner in which they must operate, and I would not berate the ref for making that decision. It's a frustration, we know, for everybody, for both teams at times.
Interesting ball by Mercado.
And it does swing both ways, do you know what I mean? Just for the conspiracy theorists out there. But it has made life tough. Not for Celtic, by the way. Certainly not with Hooper and Stokes up front.
That's only a red card for Craig Brown and Aberdeen in this match, but 2 enforced changes. You might think that Neil Lennon ought to be watching from the director's box and not from the technical area. He's down there because the appeals process is still ongoing. Away by Diamond. 25 now, Xander Diamond. Scored twice in one game against Celtic a couple of years ago. Aberdeen's 4-2 win here at Pittodrie. The Dons have not had too much to shout about in matches against the Parkhead club over recent years. Instead of the left foot of Commons, it's the right foot of Wilson. Clean strike at goal. And down goes Jimmy Langfield. It came in from Commons.
Yeah, he's a very good exponent of striking the ball. He's great technique, good balance. You can see how he just gets his shoulder down here. And I've struck him better, but I think he'll be enjoying coming up to play in front of fanatical supporters at a big club where he'll get lots of possession playing this Celtic team. Chris Commons.
Smith for Aberdeen. Here's Blackman. Milson, the newcomer, wearing number 27. Here's Blackman. Milson, who was previously on Fulham's books. They're going to win it against Kyle. Hartley. Vernon. Milson. Aberdeen just can't get started. The idea was good from Milson, looking to release Maguire. Celtic, by the way, 11 points better off than they were at this corresponding stage last season. In search of a 5th competitive win on the trot. Here's Scott Brown. And he duped Vernon. A bit too straight to worry Langfield.
Nah, not the right choice here from Brown. Not when you see they've got at least 3 players, 4 players in the box in the end, with the late arrival round about the edge. So he looks okay. Looks as if he's shaking that ankle twist, ankle knock off.
It didn't look at all good for Scott Brown a few minutes ago. Izaguirre. He's been linked with a couple of English clubs in the past week or so, Emilio Izaguirre. I'm sure they'll continue to monitor him in the second part of the season. It does at the moment seem like money well spent by Celtic, around £580,000 to Motagua of Honduras for Izaguirre.
Only 49,500,000 and a few pennies less than the big transfer to Chelsea. So yeah, I would say so. Money well spent.
Now Brown and Langfield. Good take.
Well, I think the frustration for Aberdeen is that, you know, Celtic have had to make so many changes at the back with Wilson and Mulgrew playing centre backs that I think with a full quota of players they'd be hoping that he'd been able to get at that pair that I just mentioned in such an unfamiliar position. But with only Blackman up front now on his own, I mean, they're just going to be up against it.
There's Hooper, impeded by Diamonds.
He's got to book him for that. I'm afraid he can't start feeling sorry for people. I know he sent one of them off already, but that's cynical from Diamond here because he completely outwits him, knocks it past him and just completely blocks him. And for a cynical challenge, it has to be a booking.
Muir, well just stopped for the lenient approach here. No yellow card.
Oh, well, that was my point.
Commons. Here is Stokes. Smith for Aberdeen. Ended up being a lovely ball. Maguire. Does have the capacity to unlock defences. Chris Maguire. And Milsom. Looking for the free kick, and he's won it. Here's Hartley with it for Aberdeen. Celtic looked a bit stretched. Mulgrew was called into action.
Yeah, he did very well there, Mulgrew.
Now Hartley.
Well, Hartley's saying that there's a dive here from Kyle. Now he's going to be spoken to. Is he from Alan Muir? No, he's not. Well, it's certainly not a dive.
Brown for Celtic. Joe Ledley often does a lot of the unspectacular work in midfield. Now Smith. Scott Vernon, former Colchester United striker. Commons. And Stokes and Hooper really have developed almost intuitive understanding. Blackman. No joy. There's Diamond on the back foot.
Trouble is, look, it's just been cleared up as, you know, Diamond had to do there, but what, there's 4 Celtic players just able to pick it out of the sky. Control the tempo of this game now, this first half Celtic.
There's Commons. Over the head of Stokes. Smith's header. Juarez. Wilson. Relatively untroubled so far in central defence. It's nicked by Hartley. And Diamonds. I'm sure Juarez is thinking to himself, thank you very much. And Ledley. Well, this Aguirre applauds the idea, but the execution from Ledley left a bit to be desired.
Yeah, that might be a good partnership when it unfolds. That Commons is Aguirre left-hand side.
There's Blackman.
Well, Commons will want to come in field, Derek, and get on the ball and make it difficult to be picked up. And we've seen Aguirre and how he likes to get forward. That's a rash challenge again.
It's Derek Young.
Yeah.
On Commons.
Yeah, Commons just get his body in the way here between himself and the ball. He just goes straight through the back of him, which is going to be a yellow card.
Lemieux had his card out and dropped it. It is a booking.
And I think on that side, his very experienced manager will be saying to him, no more stupid challenges.
Aberdeen at the moment just trying to stay in this match. Taken by Mulgrew. Ricardo's header. And Brown. Handball was it?
Yeah,
probably not.
Yeah, well, it hit his arm, but he's headed it. He's tried to head it. He's fallen backwards, and it's come down and hit his arm. I mean, I find it difficult to see unless he's intentionally getting the arm out here. Now, he goes with the head, and it hits his arm. You can't give a penalty for that.
Xander Diamond, the man in question.
I mean, if he put the arm out, it was just straight on the arm, yes, but he headed it onto his arm. It was just a bad header. Did you get my drift?
I got your drift. Commons, a bit of a lazy touch. And Maguire. Free kick is the outcome.
Well, we see it quite a lot when like say Aberdeen and the rest of the league play either Rangers and Celtic set pieces, but how important they are. And they are in any game, but when your chances are few and far between and you're down to 10 men, it's probably a little more a case in point as today or tonight.
There's the left-footed Rob Milsom for Aberdeen. Safe pair of hands from Forster. Diamond has got to get back to his defensive position as quickly as he can. Smith's covering for him. It's Juarez. Now Stokes. Hooper was waiting, wasn't the only one. And Langfield denying Commons.
Yeah, sorted his feet out really quickly here. Chris Commons. Watch this. I mean, I think he's very adept to that, isn't he? Just been able to dig it out his feet.
There's Commons. Stokes. Wasn't a clean header. Real scramble here. Well, it perhaps should have been. Wilson was back there for Aberdeen. Izagirre. It's not his first miscue.
Well, I think it was Hooper who had the chance. Now, hindsight's a wonderful thing, as it always is, but I think if he just dinks it, then he gets himself a goal, because it can only be a couple of yards out. Just here, 2 yards he has. Great challenge from young Milsom, absolutely fantastic. But Aberdeen really under a lot of pressure at the moment. I mean, loads of bodies back. I mean, numerous red shirts, but nobody way to get on the end of it. He's a great start, hasn't he, Hooper?
Well, he's thoroughly enjoying his football here in Scotland, Gary Hooper. We'll see how to bang in the goals in his time at Blandford Park, playing for Scunthorpe.
Yeah, I think he's starting to show a little bit more as well. I mean, his movement, he's dropped off a couple of times for the goal and for the penalty. He had a lovely pass there, I think it was for Juarez, in behind. So he's starting to show, he's not just a goal scorer, he's starting to add little one or two more things to his game.
Charlie Mulgrew. Here's Wilson. Playing Juarez, the Mexican international. Up goes Hartley. Hartley putting his hands up by his face. Young. McCardle. Should be routine for Mulgrew. Back to Forster, one or two tries from the Aberdeen contingent. Suspecting it might have been a back pass. Thumped forward by Diamond. You have just joined us here on ESPN. Andrew Considine sent off for an infringement inside the opening 60 seconds. Gave away a penalty. Scott Brown going down. That penalty taken by Anthony Stokes was saved by Jamie Langfield, but since then Gary Hooper has opened the scoring for Celtic. There's Kyle. And the busy Scott Brown. Juarez to his right. So plays it back to Kyle. Ledley. Kyle. Celtic with their 11. Leaving the 10 men of Aberdeen chase and harry all over the pitch. Brown and Smith. And no-nonsense clearance into the south stand.
Well, it's just a dig-in night for Aberdeen now, isn't it? Just dig in, try and keep it at 1-0 as long as they can, try and just nick something on the break. If they can get it in behind the Celtic back four, just try and squeeze up behind, put them under a bit of pressure, try and win some set pieces, some throw-ins. There's not a great deal else I can see them doing.
Juarez. Kyle. Good to see Mark Wilson get the Scotland call-up. There were 3 Celtic players in Craig Levine's squad in the match against Northern Ireland. It's 8 days from now. Stokes. Juarez. Here's Beram. Kyle. Oh, so unfortunate. Off the inside of the post. And Kyle looking up to the heavens.
Well, a wry grin there from the Celtic manager, but absolutely superb strike. But is it going to be one of them nights where down to 10 men Aberdeen, Celtic just battering away, you know, missed a penalty, they've now hit the post, it was inches from rolling in. Is it going to be one of those nights where they can't...
8 back in 2004-2005 for Shamrock Rovers and Derry City. And free kick. It almost fell for Blackman. Celtic looked just a bit exposed for a fleeting moment.
I'm just thinking about Kyle. He does give him a good balance in there, doesn't he? When he's tidy, he's a decent pass on the ball, can get his foot in as well. And both him and Ledley look. And Ledley, I mean, he's sort of quietly efficient, isn't he, Joe Ledley?
There's McCourt. Now then, how about that for a pass? And it's got to be 2-0 now. It's off the post. Unbelievable. Chris Commons getting on the end of that exquisite pass by Paddy McCourt, just seconds after coming on. Well,
the first couple of pieces of this jigsaw were absolutely sensational. The run and the pass. The third piece, well, it was just as good. A couple of little touches, loads of composure there, and well, I think he's just rushed that a little bit, Chris Commons, because the goal is gaping. And what a shame in a way, because it was a wonderful move, a great run, everything you would expect, apart from the obvious.
And Aberdeen are still breathing.
Just. What was I saying earlier about one of those days? You never know. Until you kill teams off, this game can come back and bite you in the backside before you know it.
It's rather like being 3 up with 3 to play in match play golf. It's difficult to execute that killer punch now. Stokes, and big appeal here. Oh, Hooper was certainly convinced, but Alan Muir's having none of it.
This ball from Stokes is as good as the McCourt one a minute or so ago. Now the referee's blind side, you can see him there. It's the linesman who'll have to look at it. It certainly hits his arm, no doubt about it. I'm not sure if he was in the box or not.
McCourt. And they call the Derry Pele. Scott Brown. Joe Ledley. There's Aguirre with a shuffle and a shimmy against Derek Young. Emilio Izaguirre. And Langfield, but not away decisively. And Commons well positioned inside the area. Blackman jousting with Juarez. Here's Ledley. It's caught by Hartley. Final part of the trilogy. Celtic trying to make it 3 wins out of 3 against Aberdeen. All in the space of a week and a half. Commons. Comes to McCourt. So difficult to dispossess. Andy McCourt. There's no handball. Headed by Young. Celtic on top. Aberdeen continuing to battle away. Aguirre and Stokes together.
Well, let's look at this again. No, beautiful ball from Stokes, it really is. In behind Mercado, and I think he punches that away. Stefan, that's a penalty kick. The second one of the game it would have been. Not spotted by the officials. I think that was an assistant referee's call from the opposite side. That was blindside for me for Alan Muir. Needed a bit of help there.
Yes, it would have been very hard for Alan Muir from his angle. It's Keith Sorby. Would have had a better view.
Yeah, I mean, he's a long way away, the assistant, but I mean, as you said, blind side of the referee is very difficult. And this game should have been put to bed from Celtic at this point. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
That's really the only worrying aspect of the performance from the point of view of Neil Lennon. Maguire. Vernon had made the run, away by Mulgrew. There's Hartley. Milson trying to bring it under control. Don't forget, in the Barclays Premier League on Saturday here on ESPN, it is Wolves against Manchester United. We're on from 4:45. And on the 13th of February in the Clydesdale Bank Premier League, Dundee United against Celtic, 11:15 in the morning, our starting time. Here's Scott Brown. Andy McCourt, the Northern Ireland squad. The match against Scotland. And again, a Celtic's also in that squad, named by Nigel Worthington.
There's a good movement from Celtic against that. I suppose you might say it's been a lot easier from sent off Aberdeen, a man after 56 seconds, but they've passed it well, Celtic. They've had chances, they've had opportunities, there may be more. That's the only side of the game that's let them down up to now, is just that final finish.
Here's Aguirre. To the outside initially, and back to McCourt. Commons using Izaguirre. Lovely play by Emilio Izaguirre. And it's a corner to Celtic. Concession of the corner by Xander Diamond. Aguirre wants it back. Here is Paddy McCourt. Always wide of the target. Neil Lennon and Celtic trying to make it an 8-point lead at the top of the table.
Well, I think he'll be pleased about a lot of things that he's seen so far, but he'll be anxious sitting there with just under 18 minutes to go, plus a bit of injury time. He'll be anxious that, well, one moment might just lose him a couple of points in this game. A couple of points that might be ever so important, as this title race, you would imagine, is going to go right to the wire.
Remember last season here at Batordre, Aberdeen were 4-2 down against Celtic, came back to draw 4-4. It was one of the games of the season from the neutral point of view in the Clydesdale Bank Premier League. McCourt to take on Young. Isagire. Now Brown. Celtic keeping possession of it. And to make sure they don't give Aberdeen too many sniffs in this closing phase of the game. Ledley. Lost count of the number of Celtic passes in this sequence. Ledley. And McCourt. Going to work the 1-2 with Stokes. Shot by McCourt. It comes off Diamond. So Commons gets into position. Mulgrew, one of the targets for Chris Commons. Yeah! Well, that might make absolutely sure. Mark Wilson, of all people. Well, that is something of a collector's item. Mark Wilson's first goal for Celtic.
Well, it just runs across Paul Hartley here, comes from a little bit deeper. You know, he's playing as a centre-half tonight, Mark Wilson, but he's hardly a towering centre-half, is he? But he makes the most of it. I mean, it's a great ball whipped in by Chris Commons. Lots of pace on the cross. Wonderful header just getting across. I mean, it really was, and I can only imagine it's 3 points going back to Glasgow.
For Mark Wilson's last goal, you've got to go back to his days with Dundee United, the Dundee Derby, April 2005.
That was the reason for the big grin then. What a great ball in from Commons.
Well, what a way for Mark Wilson to celebrate his call-up from Craig Levein. And the court. And it's difficult to envisage a way back for Aberdeen now. Peter Paulett is going to come on for Aberdeen. Blackman. Doesn't see very much of the ball in this game, Nick Blackman. It's come to Hartley, and he didn't middle it. Neil Lennon can relax a bit now. What odds against Mark Wilson getting on target tonight?
I mean, I just thought he did ever so well. Just came from a little bit of a deeper position. Commons whipped it into a great area. It was nice and flat with plenty of pace on it. And he really made it his own. I think he thought he was coming off there, but he was just getting a little bit of an instruction.
Well, Peter Paulett has come on for Aberdeen. The 19-year-old, born in Hull, but brought up here in the Granite City. Paulett for Blackman. 11th appearance of the season for Paulett. One of the bright young players to have come through the youth system. Hooper up inside the area, Stokes there too! It's 3! And Anthony Stokes atones for his failure earlier to score from the spot. And Celtic now know full well that they'll be 8 points clear at the end of business tonight.
Well, the players that he's brought in, Neil Lennon, seem to be just doing the business for him. The likes of Stokes, the likes of Hooper, Commons at the moment, Kyle, all these guys just looking to start to come good at very important times of the season. And again, it's a superb finish. I think you might look at the keeper if you've been hypercritical, that's the near post, but like, it makes a great deal of difference now.